welcome to another episode of Braxus Photography Fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed that prelude to the video this morning. It's basically on topic of one of my favorite hobbies, and that is that I like space stuff. And here, of course, is a shout out to you, Carly. I'm thinking of you while making this video, and here's a cookie in remembrance of you as well. So there's that. But space is one of my hobbies. Now, I grew up in the days of science fiction and NASA stuff. Basically, in the late 70s, Star Wars came out for the first time, and I remember going to the theater to go see that with the family and waiting in long, long lineups to get into the theater to see the movie for the first time. It was quite an adventure, actually, and we did that with the next following movies in 1980 and 83 with the follow-up Star Wars movies. And I also remember watching Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers on TV, and that just spurred on my interest for science fiction quite a bit. And then Star Trek, the original series, came about in the early 80s, which I sort of got hooked on as well. And Star Wars and Star Trek were always some of my favorite loves in regards to science fiction and that kind of thing. But not only that, but space, as in NASA stuff, real life space exploration was also, it was another one of my interests. Now, basically, I remember watching the Enterprise on TV, sitting atop the 747, and it detached and they landed it. I remember watching that on TV at the time in the late 70s. And then basically in the early 80s, in 1981, I remember listening to the radio and they were talking about the space shuttle launch that was coming up on, I believe it was a Sunday. And of course, I was at my grandparents' place on spring break at the time, so I got to watch that on TV. I remember being really excited to actually watch it for the first time. I put the alarm on for 4 a.m. or something like that. I got up really early to see the launch, put the alarm on, of course, and put some headphones on so I wouldn't wake up my grandparents. And watching the first space shuttle launch on TV live. And I remember watching it on TV, being enthralled with what was going on. I was really interested in it. And it really captured my imagination. And I remember even just watching the sun come up during that morning. And after the shuttle had already gone up, and it was quite the exciting morning for me. That really got me hooked on space exploration and shuttle launches. Anything to do with NASA. It was kind of connected to the science fiction stuff and all that. So it basically, this video is just a shout out to my hobby of space exploration and science fiction. And of course, I've kept on watching Star Trek movies all through the 80s and 90s. And same with the TV series, Next Generation, Voyager, and so on and so forth. I always kept up on science fiction and space exploration. As you can see, I'll post this here. I've got all the NASA missions, the shuttle missions from STS-1 to 25 on VHS tape. Those were the live coverage of the shuttle launches and missions, of course. And I take a little pride in that collection because not many people have that much in their collection of shuttle launches. I got a lot of those tapes from a guy in Florida. He was gracious enough to copy his tapes and make copies onto tapes for me, and he sent me those. I did record my own shuttle mission stuff back in the day too, but we didn't really have a VCR during those early years until 1985. And I was only able to record so much space stuff, especially when you're going to school at the time and you're not able to record a lot of stuff off of TV without having to be there for it. I always kind of wondered if one of the reasons why I got so interested in space and science fiction things is not only because of the time period that I grew up in, but also my mom told me I was probably conceived around the time of the moon landing, the Apollo 11 moon landing. So I thought maybe kind of a ironic and subliminal message or a way of being in regards to why I got interested in space, because I was technically in existence right around the moon landing, and of course I was born, several months later, but just kind of thought that was an interesting little tidbit. And I do want to mention I'm not welcoming moon hoax deniers in this video. I am firmly believing that we actually did go there, and there's so much science to prove that we actually went compared to what the hoax people seem to believe. There's no convincing them, so I'm not even going to get into a discussion with one person who believes that the whole thing was a hoax. And I'm not welcoming these moon hoax people for this video either. So if you're watching, see you later. Anyway, there's that. So let's take a look at a little bit more space stuff, and we'll close out the video at that point.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, we have ignition.
So I hope you enjoyed, seeing some clips of some NASA missions and space stuff. Seeing my VHS collection, and of course, so there you are. There's another one of my hobbies. And again, a shout out to you, Carly, because I know you like this stuff too. And just saying hi if you're watching. And yeah, so give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Maybe leave me a comment in the comments section below. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
Sunday, July 20th, 1969. Around the world, nearly 1 billion people watched this moment on television as the first man from Earth prepared to set foot upon the moon.
At the foot of the ladder, the limb footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. Although the surface appears to be very, very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
Some way, when those 2 Americans stepped on the moon, the people of this world were brought closer together. That it is that spirit, the spirit of Apollo, that America can now help to bring to our relations with other nations. The spirit of Apollo transcends geographical barriers and political differences. It can bring the people of the world together in peace.
Well, thank you for watching, and aye and goodbye. Eh?